Hi everyone, this is Dr. Simple Budgets. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Thank you so much. I want to give a special shout out. She really is the sweetest person on YouTube. There are a lot of really great cash stuffing budgeters on YouTube, but she is so personable and she's so special to me. And I just really want to thank her so much. She actually is my first subscriber. I'm pretty sure my second subscriber is my daughter. And you know how that goes when you start a YouTube channel, family first. But guess what? In my case, it was an actual YouTuber that was my first subscriber. So I want to give a shout out to Mari. I know her name is Maria. Maria, thank you so much. I don't have any shops or anything. I know how much you guys support each other on YouTube with all of your, really creative goods. And I don't have anything, but you know what? I already thought about what I'm going to send you, Mari, because, you're so transparent on your channel and you share so much about yourself. And like me, we have our coffee in the morning. So I already know what I'm going to send you to thank you so much for your support. So thank you so much, Mari. Really, really, you touch my heart. Today, we are going to launch into a couple things. One is, my digital budget. So I told everybody that I have a digital budget also, along with, my planner. And the reason why I have a digital budget with a planner is because this is Final Boss, I can very much easily, play with the numbers that I need to play with ahead of time, and everything comes out. And if things change, which things always change, then I can make adjustments. So let me give you a story. So for example, I had my April budget already thought out in my mind and here on my digital budget. And something terrible happened, which is totally my fault. But my electricity bill was horrendous. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I had to pay off this really exorbitant amount of money to my electricity bill. And then I also had to borrow some money. And so not only do I have to keep paying on that electricity bill, but I owe back that person money. And in my mind, like, that wasn't even in my April budget at all. So I had to go through my April budget and I had to find places where I could take $5 here, $5 there, and change it so that I could pay people back. Well, that was such a good thing that I even had this so I could get a 360 view of my finances and my future finances. Again, like I said, I only get paid once a month. So I'm going to take you through this. Now, this is just a regular Excel spreadsheet. You can find this very same template with this cute lady on the couch on Excel. I promise you it's there. If you have the latest version of Excel, you can find this spreadsheet. The difference is I have personalized it. So I'm going to start with this one over here. Okay, so this is basically all my bills right here. So I have rent, my car payment, my phone payment, Netflix, my student loan, my insurance for my car, and my electricity bill. Why do I have this particular cell highlighted? Well, it's because when I'm playing with my numbers, I want to quickly reference the column that has the amounts that I owe each month. And these are pretty much fixed all the time anyway. So I highlighted this one so that it's a quick reference for me. in these cells, it's the amount owed, the actual that I paid, and then it will give me a balance. So the formula is already there when you get this spreadsheet. Everything is first column minus second column balance. Well, that doesn't work for every single thing that you do as a cash stuffer. You're not always looking at subtracting. A lot of times you're looking at money adding up, especially like with your sinking funds. You're adding money to your sinking funds. So you don't want a formula where it subtracts. You want a formula where it adds. And so some of these categories here, you'll see that I tweak the formula. My second category here in the blue, and I absolutely do. I was diagnosed with mild moderate ADD as an adult. It makes total sense when I think back on my childhood. You know, I have the good kind of ADD where I can do divergent thinking and hold on to several concepts in my mind at once, converge them, you know, reverse them and all that sort of a thing. But at the same time, it's still ADD at the end of the day. And so one of the downfalls of my ADD is once the thoughts converge in my mind, it's like a spark and I have to open my mouth and say something. And so I have a really bad habit of sometimes kind of interrupting people or cutting people off. And it's really hard for me to not do that. But over the years, you know, the more I have to do like consultant work, the better it is. But right now I'm sort of in a job where I'm not consulting. I'm just talking to my coworkers, and sometimes I just cut them off and I'm sure they're like, this lady. But anyway, this category right here is my debt category, and you can see I wanted to know not the total amount because I'm not paying these all off at the same time. I hit 3 at a time. I usually hit the lowest amounts first. I don't do the whole find the one with the highest interest and pay that off first. That doesn't work for me. What works for me is to pay off the lowest ones first, and then when that amount of money is freed up, then I can bomb the higher amounts. So like my credit card here, $4,087. That is the highest amount, but it turns out I am, okay, it makes it sound like I told you a lie, right? But I didn't. It's just that they called me up and they gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. So basically, I only pay $100 a month toward paying that off. And I was like, oh, thank you, because I was totally going to ignore them until the time was right. But right now, I'm just paying off these 3. What I highlighted here is the column that is telling me how much I'm paying per month. And so I highlighted this one here as a quick reference. So I know that this amount plus this amount is what's staying in the bank. And like I said, I do keep some of my budget in the bank and some of it I cash stuff. We're on this side. Everything on the left side is in the bank. So we also have my cushion here. And like I was saying in my last video, you know, it's really important for you to look at your bank fees, figure out how much they are, what day they come out on. I have 2 checking accounts, so I have to keep track of those bank fees. It's weird because one of them is $5 a month and the other one is $10 a month. And I'm like, well, it's the same bank. I don't understand. But anyway, one is $5 a month, one is $10 a month. They come out on totally different days. All of that is tracked in my planner. Just the amounts are here on this budget. So I have my bank cushion of $25 a month. That's good enough for me because I'm pretty accurate with dates and amounts and everything except for that electricity bill, but that's okay. I totally recovered from that. And my Apple bill, my bank fees, and stash. Again, remember I told you I have my Acorns account where I take the change out of my wallet and I put it aside. And then once I get up to $20 and change, I roll it and take it to the bank. Well, that might take a while. So I'm at least paying for stash services and putting a little bit toward it each month, which is $5. So the total amount here that would cost me per month, I've highlighted here. And then lastly, right here at the bottom, I have my savings. One is a high yield savings and the other one is Self Inc., which is me saving toward a debit card. I'm basically funding the debit card. That amount of money gets drafted from my bank account each month and it gets reported to the credit bureau. So I'm building credit while I'm building my Christmas fund at the same time. The weird thing about Self Inc. is they do take a small amount of $6. And then what I really get put on that card is about $19. Altogether, it's $26 to fund it. I separated them for a reason because I want to see how much is actually going on the card or has accumulated on the card minus the fee. So I did it that way so that I could really see how it works out. And so at the end of all of that, the amount of money that stays there is $3,164. Well, another thing is each of these highlighted areas, the formula is put here. You can see the formula there. It's basically each one of the cells plus each one of the cells plus, and it's a auto sum. So it comes up here. If I change any of these numbers in here, these cells will change, which means that cell will change. So this is a really super easy way for me to just keep track of everything. Again, this is one of those cells where I have the current amount plus the contribution. So everything in here is added. This is a completely different formula from this one up here. Let's get to the cash stuffing side of this. So we have my wallet. So we have gas, we have groceries, personal spending, dining, household. And as you can see, this is an actual minus. So it's like, this is how much I budget each month. And then at the end of the month, I put here how much I spent. And let's say I spent, let's say I have $80 for groceries. I know you guys are like, that's all you have for the month. Yeah, that's all I have for the month. I'll be honest with you. Number one, I'm on a diet. Number two, I eat a lot of whole foods. So I buy a lot of vegetables and meat only. I am not eating bread and I don't eat sugar. I have stevia. And so for dessert, something for me that's delicious for dessert would be like yogurt, stevia, cinnamon. That's my kind of dessert, okay? Because I am an older lady in menopause and you can't just eat whatever you want to eat when you're in menopause and still look and feel good and have a brain that works. You cannot do it. You have to eat pretty clean. So, and my grocery store is awesome. Like I can pick up a whole pack of chicken quarters, like 6 chicken quarters in a pack for $6. I'm not even kidding you. And I'm in Southern California. That's unheard of, right? But I know where to shop. So yes, I do have $80 for groceries. A typical month for groceries, I will spend that amount. I have allocated $35 for gas for the month. I know you guys are like, what? Well, don't forget I work from home and I only drive on the weekends. And so, plus I also have Ralph's Rewards. So if I go to a Shell station, and so like yesterday, I put $15 of 91 octane in my gas tank. I used my Ralph's Reward and I got 70 cents off per gallon. I literally, on $15, got almost a half a tank of gas of 91 octane. I'm not even kidding you. So I don't need to spend that much money on gas per month. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. So yes, so let's say on that month I only spent, let's say 30. This amount over here would change. I have this flipped right now so that my keyboard isn't here, so I can't really do anything. I talk too much. Okay, so basically this is about the amount of money each month, about $210 a month is cash stuffed. Here we have my sinking funds. I think you guys remember my sinking funds is in my purple binder. That's why, oh yeah, and by the way, my wallet is black. So I corresponded the colors that way. So my wallet is black, that's black. My sinking funds binder is purple, so this is purple. So I have vacation, month ahead, car maintenance, kiddos, and right now I'm paying for the plane tickets. My daughter bought the plane tickets for us to go to Myrtle Beach this summer, and then at this point I only owe her $112, so that is going to come out of that account. Why do I have it this way? You're wondering, like, I wanted to know how much I'm contributing here, because these are the current amounts that I have stuffed in those right now. Car maintenance took a hit. There was $70 in there, but I had to borrow from it to pay down that electricity bill. And if you guys recall, I don't know if I showed you this or not, but you might recall that I had like I had something here, a little envelope that said I owe you. And this is one of those cases where, yeah, I definitely owe myself. So let me see. Car maintenance, right? So this was one of the first things I ever created. I didn't even laminate it. I literally used clear packaging tape. But I made this I owe myself card, and it works for me. And right now it's very faded. I don't know if you can see that, but it says $70. I owe myself $70. I have a plan to pay myself back though, so I'm not really worried about it. Again, these are current amount plus the contribution equals the balance here. I already went ahead and put that amount here because the contribution could change. It did change. I did borrow $5 from my gas fund, and I think I borrowed money from somewhere else, not on this one, but here, to pay myself back that $70. I could only come up with 40. So you'll see here. So this is my miscellaneous. Now miscellaneous, as you know, is, again, it's just one random envelope in my sinking funds, because everything in miscellaneous, again, is temporary. So what I think is going to happen though, and actually what I know is going to happen, is this miscellaneous, a couple of categories in here are going to end up having their own envelope, and I have more of these purple envelopes coming. Actually, I think they just got delivered right now. Let me see if they just got delivered right now. Hold on. Well, okay, everybody. False alarm. I got a notification on my shop app, and I thought that was a delivery, but it wasn't. They were just telling me it's coming today. So that was a nice walk to my mailbox. But anyway, yeah, so I have more of those purple binders coming. I had to put a jacket on, so now my hands are going to look like this in the video. Okay, so these amounts here, again, we have the current amount, and then even here, like, I owe my dad $1,000, so he told me just pay him $100 a month, and so I start off with a negative, and then it tells me what the balance is here. And yeah, that's a lot of information. I owe my dad money. Okay, savings challenges. As you recall, my yellow binder that has all the savings challenges in it. I will do a video next week, about all my binders. I have had a major change in all my binders. I'm really, really happy. And every time I think, okay, I'm going to stop, I add one more. I guess that's how it is when you start this journey. I mean, I really had no idea that it was just going to be like this. But once you start saving for things and once you realize that you can, you want to do more. Isn't that incredible? So something added here that was not here before is this pink me binder. I will introduce you guys to that binder next week. And I remember I said my yellow binders, everything in there is for me, and it is for me to do whatever I want to do with. I already know what I'm going to do with that yellow binder money, and what it's going toward, and it has nothing to do with me. So I put all of my beautiful aesthetic Trader Joe's and some other new trackers in my new pink me binder, because this is the one that's this one is really about me. I will show you guys all that next week, along with a video as to how that works in your mind. But this week I thought that I would just show you this again. The contribution is the most important piece. So I decided I'm going to contribute next month $25 to the Yellow Games binder, and $22 to the Pink Me binder, for a total of $47. And same thing, you just take these ones that I've highlighted here. The highlighted columns are the ones that really matter to me when I'm cash stuffing. I need to know how much for my wallet is going to come out, how much for my sinking funds. It's going to be $338 for miscellaneous next month, and then $47. And the formula is here. So those particular cells, when they add up, come out to $882. Then what I do is I say this plus this should equal my budget for the month. And it absolutely does. And that's how much I want to budget for April. So that's basically my electronic planning budget. Again, like I said, it is Final Boss at the beginning of the process and at the end. So at the beginning of the process, since I already have April here, you can see this is the plan for April, and it'll be Final Boss at the end when I zero out the things that need to be zero, or see what the accumulated added should match what's in my envelope. So I wanted to talk to you all about a little bit more about this whole budgeting journey and what it really means to me, but also what it means for people who start and stop, or people who just feel like, you know, that looks real fun and cute, but that's not really for me. I really would rather have my money in the bank, which is fine also. But you know, cash budgeting turns out is for everyone, but not for everyone at the same time. In other words, there are a lot of mitigating factors that will determine whether you start a cash budgeting system, and then whether you persist at that cash budgeting system, and whether the reward of it has an effect on you positively or negatively. So I did a little research on this, and do you guys like this? I have a lot of these, and this one I thought I would use for this channel because I love what it says here. It says, in the midst of our lives, we must find the magic that makes our soul soar. And that is so much of what this channel is about. It's about finding the magic. And for everybody, you know, the magic isn't always there. at the time, but there is a way to get there. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. What kind of a cash budgeter are you? Well, there was a study in 2021, and this particular study was pretty interesting because they took about 139 women and they were trying to determine whether or not they were going to, and how they were going to react to specific stimuli. One of the stimuli was money. Okay. There were other factors. There was even like sexual stimuli. We're not going to go there because we're not that kind of channel over here. But they did take a look at these 139 women, and they did, not only did they do like a mixed methods approach, which means they did quantify their reactions using a scientific approach, but they also interviewed each one of them. And so they used their interview answers to provide, additional information. I'm really trying to put these in easy to understand terms, so that you can understand what I'm getting at and why I picked this particular study to share with you today. So they were all associated with these different variables that were linked to basically aberrations of reward responsiveness. And I just told you what those were, but the control for this particular study was interesting. The control showed us that you have to be in a specific state of mind in order to get a certain stimulus response from saving money or having money or just having reactions to money. So this is what it was. After they did their study and they took the self-reported information from these 139 women, they found out that different people react to rewards in different ways. And we all know that cash stuffing is basically a reward system, right? The reward is we have the money to do the things that we want to do with, but there's even more attached to this reward system, right? After they reacted to rewards like money in different ways, they decided that, and after they did the interviews, they linked it to their mental health. So cash stuffing and rewards is directly linked to your mental health. Now, many of you are thinking, well, duh. But it's really actually not a duh, because a lot of times people are just going through life and maybe they have a certain tolerance for a certain level of stress, or maybe they have beliefs about themselves that are hindering them. So for example, you might have a thought about yourself like, I'm a failure at anything related to finances. It's kind of like the people who are like, don't give me a plant because I kill all plants. I'm a plant killer. Some people feel that way about money. They're like, no matter how much I do, no matter how much I try, I just don't know how to be good at money. I don't understand money. Or even though I'm trying to understand money and do cash stuffing as a type of a thing, to me, I end up just pulling out of it and stealing from it anyway, just to feed into, how I'm feeling about things. And that brings us to this particular study, because after they did all of that work, they found out that there are 3 types of profiles, 3, for how people view rewards. And in this particular study, money, food, and sex. Okay? So profile number 1. Of the 139 women, they found out that there were people that had very weak brain reactions to social rewards and sexual images, but we're not talking about the sexual part. But they had weak reactions to social rewards, and they didn't feel much excitement about rewards. So no excitement. Towards rewards. And for some people, cash stuffing is not their jam because they don't feel this excitement. Okay, then profile number 2. These people had a very strong brain reaction to money rewards, but normal responses to other types of rewards. Their reward feelings, when you just, accumulated them, looked at them in general, were average. So really strong toward money rewards, but pretty average towards other things. So big excitement. Towards money rewards. Okay, profile number 3, because remember, they ended up looking at the data and the salient data, and they put it out into 3 profiles for people. Profile number 3, these people had mixed brain reactions, strong towards some rewards, weak toward others. So these people, and all of these people, big excitement toward money. But this third profile, it was kind of like they were all over the place, like a scatter plot. They were everywhere. These people have mixed brain reactions, strong to some rewards, weak to others, and reported feeling very excited about rewards. So they liked rewards in general, but there was no really one strong feeling toward money or sex or food or any of the other variables. So guess what these people are? These are people who in general just like to take risks. So these people were linked. So excitement toward risk taking. Okay, so women, people are generally going to fall into one of these 3 profile categories, but there's even more, because what they found in this study, even though there were 3 categories, is, back to what I was saying before, is the response toward all of them had a lot to do with their mental health. Remember that mental health was a big factor in this. So this study ended up showing that the different ways of responding rewards is connected to different mental health issues. So people who are in a depressive state might actually fall into this first category. And this is really important for you to understand. And this is not generalizing. Remember, this is just one study. You have to take a look at metadata to figure out whether or not this is really true. But I do find it fascinating that if you have negative mental health, you're probably not going to be very excited about cash stuffing. Even if you're a risk taker, you're probably not going to be excited about it. People with negative mental health probably won't persist at cash stuffing for very long because they don't have any excitement toward it. Now, there's another study that says that once you address what your mental health issue is, that you can begin. But in reality, it depends on where your mental health negativity is stemming from. In my case, I had negative mental health stemming from finances. I had beliefs that, like, no matter how much money I made, no matter how much I tried, something was going to happen to me, and finances was going to end up being my downfall. Whether I had to leave a job and take a pay cut, whether like big, terrible things happen, like my electricity bill. I mean, honestly, like the first mental thought I had, these are old patterns of thinking that I have, you guys. The first mental thought I said, just right as I have everything in control, right as I feel like I found something that works for me, cash stuffing, then boom, something bad happens to me financially. I can never get ahead financially. But I had to quash that. And I had to say, wait a minute, I read the study, right? I know where my negative mental health is coming from, and I'm addressing it. And I went into my electronic, the one that I just showed you, I went into my electronic budget and I played with the numbers, and I was like, oh, I'm okay. So the thoughts that I had were old thoughts, but in this case, it was a lie. It was a lie. I wasn't out of control. I was in control. And because my mental health stemmed from negative thoughts around finance, and because I had that budget, I was able to address that negative mental health thought immediately. And now, to be honest with you guys, I slept so well last night. I was like, I'm okay. I'm totally fine. Like, and I could say that, not in a way that was, disingenuous. I really fell asleep feeling like I'm okay. So for those of you out there who find this kind of information interesting, if you are in a negative mental state right now and it's around finances, I highly suggest that you try to do a cash stuffing budget, because it will probably help you feel in control. And as soon as some of those things that you feel negative about pop up again, you might even be able to manage it immediately, like I was able to. So I wanted to share this with you to give you guys a little bit of hope today. I hope that this information was interesting to you. Next week, like I said, I am going to share with you my new binders, and I'm going to have a new topic next week about binders and the importance of binders from a psychological perspective. So if you enjoyed my content today and it was useful to you, please like and subscribe to my channel. I don't have very many subscribers, although the ones that I have, I love you guys so much. But please like and subscribe to my channel if you found this interesting, and I will see you guys again next week. Take care. Bye.